Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode here on Luca. And today I am so excited to be joined. She is our Luca, New Mexico director for investigation there in New Mexico. So, Jodilynn Aragon, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Melinda. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited.
Yes. I know. So, I mean, this is a very, I mean, everybody knows I'm from New Mexico, so I always get really excited to talk to my fellow New Mexicans, even though I've left, almost 20 years ago. I love my home state. It doesn't matter where any of us go. Our culture is so unique. Our culture, our land is beautiful. Our people, I mean, just everything about New Mexico we love. It doesn't matter. Some of us flee for many reasons. And I think nowadays, we've all really understand what that means. Now we're all really waking up to the issues that have affected all of us for a very long time. I still have two daughters. My whole family's there, grandbabies that live there, and just all of the citizens. New Mexico means everything to me. So thank you. And I know you've been working so hard. And today, what you want to speak on is about the Biolab and the environmental issues that New Mexico is really, really facing right now. So I'm going to give you some time to really speak on that and what it is that you want the citizens of New Mexico to know and to understand.
Thank you. It is an important issue, and I came across this in some research based on Los Alamos Labs, their nuclear planning with. They have a NIPA report discussing all of the biolabs, bioweapons, and the Oppenheimer events, that happened, and the movie that just came out. So
Mhm.
I just dived right in and I researched and found some very interesting information in New Mexico that I was just shocked about. And my concerns are so it's global, it's New Mexico, it's environmental. I wrote a letter to our to one of the newspapers, an editor, a letter to the editor
Yeah.
in Rio Rancho Observer a while back regarding a biolab here in New Mexico that was placed at one of our community colleges in Santa
Wow.
Fe, and that was led by our Senator Martin Heinrich,
I
and yeah, just a man that he's all for nuclear. He's my goodness, he's on the Council of Foreign Relations. He's been a senator he's an incumbent, and he is, right now they're going after him in a race. And I don't know, he endorsed and got this biolab going at the ribbon cutting there in Santa Fe
wow.
with the mayor there at the time, Javier Gonzalez. And it shocks me because I attended Santa Fe Community College. I got my associate's degree there. So, and then to find out, well, it was a growing biolab. It's a facility. It needed bigger and brighter horizons. And so I found out it moved to Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And that's Sandoval County. That's exactly where I'm located. And, this biolab, it's called NTX, Nature's
Mhm.
Toolbox Incorporated. And it's right in the heart of family, residential, shopping, everything. And when I wrote this letter, I was just concerned because it has, the ingredients of the bioweapons, that are involved. And what they're doing is it's based on chemicals that are developed for mRNA.
Oh my
And
God.
that, yeah. And it's, they're lipid nanoparticles synthesis. It's a cellular study on components, biofuels, genomic sequencing, pathogen biology, incorporating inorganic polyphosphate based energy. And these
And this is
ingredients
right
to
in the
me,
middle of the community. This is where our children are being raised, where our elderly live. I mean, just everyday New Mexicans. and they just put a lab right there. And I mean, and what would happen if there's a leak?
That's my concern. What is it? The water can get contaminated, airborne, the labs in Ukraine are found that they had drone escapes of mosquitoes, and for bioweapons to come out. And it just concerns me. What are they going to do to our own people already, with this? And are we going to have to wear biohazard uniforms? How do we correct this when something happens in our state? We already have the labs. We already had so much nuclear already, and it's being
Well, and where
transported
I'm
back and
from, we
forth.
have the refinery right in the middle of Artesia, I
Yeah.
mean, we have the refinery, and like I remember many times where my daughters couldn't even drink the water. They couldn't even
Hmm.
bathe my grandbabies in there because there were so many, um, just issues with E. coli and all kinds of stuff. I mean, New Mexico, we have to get it together.
We really do, and we get this company comes in, Rio Rancho, it's giving out, I mean, $30 million that they're looking at projections for money. This is supposed to be economic development, and we have a mayor that was at the ribbon cutting in Rio Rancho for the city, and just different players. We have commissioners appointing um, a gain of function doctor that's participant in this issue. And it's frightening to me that we have so many different individuals that are involved, and it's we got money being funneled in through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, over
Well, of course.
$5 million, have a contract from 2021 to 2030 on this
Wow.
company. And we have a bioscience authority, New Mexico Bioscience Authority, encompassing different elements, like different, we have tech companies, we have Los Alamos National Labs, we have Sandia National Labs, we have
Yeah.
Department of Defense, we
Mhm.
have the Air Force, we have UNM, or universities, and be getting involved in all of this technology.
Well, the federal
And it's
government has their hands really deep inside of New Mexico. So not only, is our own government, our own governor, our own legislation, our own justices, everybody so corrupt in the state of New Mexico. Then you have an administration like Biden
Yeah.
who went there as soon as he came in. And I don't know if a lot of people even remember this or even know this, but what was one of the first things he did when he took office? Well, he came into our land and our Native American lands and went to the Navajo Nation and gave them all free COVID shots, made sure
Yep.
all of them were injected with this vaccine. It's so blatant in the faces of New
Well, and
Mexicans.
it's amazing the funding that has gone through, and I can give you numbers, and I'd like to do that, because
Yeah.
pre-pandemic, which I call it a plan-demic, is let's see here, the total amount was $31.9 billion from US government that's
Wow.
invested in this. There was 34 research grants given. We have NIH involved with pre-pandemic again, $116 million towards science-related and mRNA technology biomedical advancement research. And then the Development Authority, BARDA, $148 million. The Department of Defense, $72 million in development. Then after the pandemic, we have 29.2 US public funds purchased, 108 million supported manufacturing and basic transnational national science. So this money is millions, billions of dollars that has been a pandemic. When I was a school board member, and when this all transpired, I was researching, and I found a pandemic plan, and each state literally has had one since 2015, through
Wow.
the Obama administration. And so this has been an ongoing plan for decades, since I believe 1985, or even further.
Yeah.
I have 1985 to 2022 planning on this.
Oh, we can definitely
From
look back, and this is
H1, and I'm sorry.
yeah.
I get
No, no, it's okay. I
passionate.
was going to say we can go back decades and know that our government has literally been planning stages of many things for
Yes.
our country. And Trump brought all of that to light. I remember he said, I'm an elite. I'm one of them. I've given them all money. I've been to their dinners. I've been to their parties. I know exactly what they have planned for this country, and it isn't good. And there were too many people that were too scared to step in, or didn't have what we say, the ganas to step in and do anything to stop them. He's like, somebody, or we're going to lose this beautiful country of ours. And so they've been planning things for a very, very long time, and now they just pushed like the nitrous button on it to speed it up,
Hmm.
because we
Well, they
because
have,
we
and there's
we can see it.
Davos. Davos is speeding it up. We have the research that I found. I mean, it goes back to goodness that the WHO
Yeah,
has been involved. We have the Royal Society, Biological Science. It's just intense information, and it is. Uh, to think that they would plan this for so many decades and no one has said anything. I understand there's, in our government compartmentalized areas. And so
yeah,
one person does this, one person does that, and nobody wants to say anything, like you said. Nobody wants to
yeah.
connect the dots. Nobody wants to speak out, and everybody's fooled. Everybody's thinking there's a pandemic and it's a plan-demic, and that's
It's
what
a
it
pandemic,
just
and we have our,
it
as you can see,
hurts me.
we have our state executive director, Audrey, right here chiming in and commenting. And like she said, the NWO, CDC, government, are all involved.
Yes.
And she's right. They are all involved. And like you said, this is worldwide. There is an agenda. There has been an agenda. And,
Exactly.
the way Trump put a stop to it is he pulled the curtain up on all of us, on all of them. But, and it's talking about Luca. That's what we are, right? We are here because we, the people, have to get involved. Trump can't do it by himself because every state has its own sovereignty, has its own power. The federal government can't get involved, right? Can't stop anything. So it's going to take us. And it's so hard because you and I, both being New Mexicans, how far behind in the grain we are, how far behind we are in the fight, how long they've been allowed to grow so powerful over the
Hmm.
people that, states like ours have to fight 100 times
Well, and
harder.
it's harder to fight in New Mexico because everybody's compromised. There's so
Yeah.
many people that depend on Los Alamos National Labs to work at, or Sandia, or the government, and it's super hard. And for me to come out and even say anything and do research, I worry. I worry what is going to happen. How do we I have to have the ganas, the the strength to do this, and it's nerve wracking for everybody here
It
that is
is.
wanting to do something, and everybody's afraid. Look what happened at January 6th.
I know.
They put that out there as a precedent. Don't speak out.
Yeah.
Threaten. It. I'm sorry, it was.
Yeah.
And Luca is, and putting this platform together. I appreciate it. And I know in New Mexico, as a Latina, as a Hispanic here, that's how I was raised. I'm a tough woman, and I have,
Yeah.
Native in me also.
Yeah.
And I'm super strong. They've put me through the ringer. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to be, I'm the crazy person, I guess. I don't know. All I know is I'm not, because I found facts, and I understand we really need to fight and work. And it is, it's dangerous. Yes, Audrey, it is. Look what happened to Coy.
Coy Griffith, he was
Hmm.
our Tarot County commissioner, and they used, what was it, Article, for to try to. I mean, they removed him from office. That's never
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah.
That an elected official was removed by the state of New Mexico, and they're trying to, I mean, use him being at January 6th as the reason, and not one person has ever been has yet to be convicted of an insurrection. That was not an insurrection. An insurrection comes with guns ablazing, military type, and they would have taken it over. Yeah, sorry, Audrey, you're right. It was the 14th Amendment was used to remove him, and they're trying to win this so that they can use this to remove Trump from ever being able to be president, or
Well,
anything.
and they want Trump out, and they want all the people out. They don't want us to speak up. They have their agenda 2030. I said it, and many of times with their contract that's already listed.
Yeah, yeah,
They have they have this all planned out, and unfortunately, it is up to us, the people, to fight and say
have to.
something, and we have to, or we're gonna be in this global movement that is unstoppable if we don't do something now.
Exactly. And this is what we preach a lot, and this is what Luca's, our platform is, we the people. The people are back. And we cannot be
Mhm.
afraid. We are powerful. When we come together, there are more of us. And when we think about the Democrats and liberals, it is a smaller percentage than what it is of those than us, the conservative patriots. We have that. Luca has, we're loud, we're bold, and we have to stand up. We have to speak out, because if we don't, back in the day, Jodilynn, we know that when our people fought to protect this country, well, we sent our men and our young boys out to war, and we
Well,
didn't know if they were going to come back alive.
we fought in the Spanish American War here in New Mexico. That was a big deal in Texas too. And there were so many
Yeah,
places. And
yeah,
that was the thing. It was to fight for this country, for freedoms, for
yeah,
our ability to make choices for our own country and our own lands. And we didn't make this choice as the people. Nobody gave us this option in our life. It was planned, and it was and we need to have choices, and we should have known this is supposed to be transparent and given to us as what we decide what we want for ourselves.
right.
I didn't want a pandemic. I
No,
didn't want this.
no,
Nobody deserves this, and we need to fight it, and speak out. And this is the only way, is these platforms, us working together, me being part of Luca. Audrey does so much in the state. All of us are trying to fight, but like she said, it's dangerous, and who knows what's going to happen. But I don't have, I love God. God is my most important, you know
we have to
um
think about what's going to
task
happen if
here.
we don't fight. Let's look at what's happening now, but imagine the outcome if we don't fight.
Hmm.
What they're going to be able to do to us, because they do have the power. This, like you said, these biolabs, the nuclear, things that they have access to that we don't. So we really don't have a choice when you think about it,
We
because not
don't.
doing anything is a hell of a lot scarier than what we're
Right.
experiencing now, because it'll only get worse if we don't do something. And what I also, what I love about Luca is, because we're national, we're growing, we're in every West Coast state, and we're locking arms together. We're here to help each other. All of our state executive directors are on one chat, and everybody speaks to each other in each state, and to help each other, and to love on each other and support each other, because that's what we are. That's what we need to do. And but you're so right. We have to be bold. We have to stand up, because I mean, this is a lot more civil than what they used to do back in the day to protect our freedoms, and to protect,
Hmm.
our states, and to protect our people. And but yeah, I mean, it's so hard to watch such a beautiful state like New Mexico just be torn apart and become something that is unrecognizable to us,
Well, so
that
many
we.
people have given up, though, and that's what's hard. And it's our with because of Luca and the platform and other platforms that are out there and speaking out. That's the only way, I think, we can find a way to wake these people up or not. People need to help, and we need to do something, um, because they're scared, and they're just ready for the world to end. And, no, we shouldn't be ready for that. We should keep fighting.
No,
That's what Jesus would do.
yeah,
And that's where my path is. And that's why I keep going. And I, you I'm happy to be part of the group and be part of anything I can do. And, um, in hopes that we get people to understand the seriousness. Like
Yeah,
with this biolab, it is serious. It is
it is.
something that is going to change. It's our genomes. How
Yeah,
many DNA people, how many of us have different DNA?
I know.
We all do. And because of that, it's going to affect us individually differently. And it's an immune, it's an inflammatory issue. It's so much to our bodies that we need to understand, and we need to learn how to heal from it and get away from it. And that's my message for New Mexico, for all of us here and, nationally. And I
I
thank
think of
you.
Erin Brockovich, right? Whenever yeah, I do. And I've even had people like, Melinda, you're from Artesia, because for us being such a small town, I can't tell you
Mm-hmm.
the amount of friends and people that I've lost to cancer, that I've lost, it's too
Yes,
many. It's too
it is.
many for Artesia that have health issues, even myself. Um,
Well, you
Not a lot
think
of people
about
know,
it,
but
they have.
I had to have surgery. I had cancer and they had to remove my whole, and I died 2 times on that surgery table. It's very happy and lucky to still be alive. And so, this is going to cause an even bigger issue. And we need everybody to get involved. And this is what Luca does. We look for these problems. We go through, we share the issues. We need to come together and we need to fight this as a community. When once people learn and realize how strong we really are when we come together as a
Mhm.
community, the power that we actually have. But because, just like you said, many people are afraid and they do that. They scare you in every way. They use people like Audrey here said, Coy Griffith, and those that are elected officials to remove them and show the kind of power that they really have to scare
Mhm.
people. That's why we should stand up even stronger, because then what's going to happen to our grandkids, to the future of New Mexico? Like Audrey said here, we're seeing this in New Mexico. MLG used it to take gun rights away. What's going to be next? She's right.
Well, it's all part of their agenda. And of course, that's going to be next and everything else. I mean, they don't want us to, we're going to be slaves to the government, and it's already in that movement. Um, we're already, embarking on that, and people are seeing it and complaining, but they don't understand the full effect. And that's why, again, I'm grateful that we're able to speak about it. And I'm grateful that I have a mind that is, searching and looking for evidence and facts.
Yeah.
And that's what, a lot of us need to use and do, and in hopes that we all fight, like you said. And
Yeah.
we can't be complacent, like Audrey says. We just can't be.
No.
That's done with.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Especially, a new election is coming.
well,
What is the plan next?
Well,
you
and
know.
Audrey is our national election integrity,
Hmm.
guru. She's the one. So I know she's planning on working on a national level and in the state level on what it's going to
Hmm.
take to combat election integrity, because that's a huge focus. A huge
Right.
focus is election integrity, because when she ran, we saw the fraud firsthand. It's there. And what, like we were having a discussion, I said, sis, if New Mexico was really blue and was really a stronghold of the Democrats, why do they need to cheat? Why are they cheating? It's obvious, because they are not as in control, but because they instill fear and because they have to cheat so that they can, hold on to that power. And
Hmm.
that's when we need to fight the most, because that only goes to show that we are the majority. Conservative New Mexicans, people that are rejecting the Democrat ideologies and policies, are obviously the majority, because they have to cheat to stay in power.
Well,
So
it's a
if they
global
come out,
ideology. It's a global ideology, unfortunately.
yeah,
And, yes, the Democrats are in cahoots, and it's their agenda, unfortunately. But we have a mix, and and I think there is a lot of Dems that possibly. I was a Dem.
so was
but
I.
I'm a conservative.
Yeah,
I'm a conservative. I'm going to move forward, and do the right thing. And that's what I hope for others in the Democratic side or the Republican side, the conservative, independent, everything. We have to be conservatives,
Yeah.
and we have to unite, and we have to grow, and fight this. I just keep going and going on this, and
Yeah.
I have so much more data and facts, and I can connect so much more the technologies and everything that's going to go all the way to the CBDCs and the control of money and your health, everything. And it's set in place, and we're in that realm.
Yeah. But so I think, like I said, with the statistics, I mean, really showing that the Democrats cheating only solidifies that they are not the wanted party. I hope
Hmm.
that the people of New Mexico will take that into consideration and stand with us. Luca is going to be working on election integrity. We need poll watchers. We need people to get involved. We need delegates. I know Sister Audrey's been working really hard on that. The New Mexicans have to get involved at every single level. Stand up. If we put on events where we're pushing back against the biolabs, we're pushing back against, ensuring that our, county commissioners and our county clerks are doing right by the people. And at what point, if the people request that they want hand counted ballots, that they honor that, because the people's voice is what is in control, not them. We put them there. And so we have to get active, we have to get loud, we have to get pushy, we have to be
Hmm.
bold, because this is it. We have 10 months. 10 months is all we have. And what we do know is that if the people do not vote early, show up overwhelmingly on election day and on election day only to vote, it's harder for them to cheat. Are they still going to cheat? I mean, they cheat. We don't know to what extent, but it does make it harder for them to cheat when the people show up on the day of election only.
It
No
does
mail-in
make it
ballot.
harder. Machines are hacked. There's so many aviances with the elections, that I could speak about too, because I've done some research on that also. As an investigator, I've been a little bit all over, but they are hackable. There's scanning issues. There's the iPads that are hackable. There's voter rolls that have been inflated and not corrected, and there's so many people fighting. Audrey's been fighting. New Mexico, we have a group of people that have been just boom, boom, boom in there.
Yep.
But again, it's how do we fight it other than this kind of a platform? Because we do go to courts, you do this, and it has been happening around,
Right.
and there's we got to find a break somehow, some
Well,
way.
just like Audrey
And
said, and she's right, there has to be litigation. Like, the Secretary of
mhm,
State should be held accountable for running her own election, for
yep.
moving the office on election day without notifying the people that they're moving, for
Yeah.
for shutting down, having planned power outages on
Well,
election day.
again,
It,
it's up to the
they
people to, I'm sorry,
I was
but
gonna
it's
say,
up to the people to find the right candidates that aren't involved in these issues, that
yeah,
aren't, participating, like in the biolabs. We need people that aren't participating in this, that want the right for us, our health, our environment. We need people like that in as candidates. And that's my hope for bringing out this information on the biolabs, is to get good people, find people that are researching, or if I research and I put the information out, that they really work to find good people out there to change this whole thing. Become a delegate. I'm a delegate now.
missing
You have
cares.
to do multiple things. Unfortunately, that's how it works sometimes. But we need more. We need everybody to
We
stand
need
up, because
everybody.
we didn't choose this. We did
Yeah,
not choose this, and now we have to fight it because it's there.
yeah, you're right.
So
You're absolutely
thank
right. Well, Jody, thank you so much. I mean, this was very informative. And even for people that are watching this later, I hope you share this video, you guys, with everybody that you know. Yes, especially in New Mexico, but not only in New Mexico. share it with everybody across the country so that there's awareness, because this is one of the ways that we know that they are going to try to hurt, control, the people. I mean, there's so many things that harmful. She just named off so many of the harmful elements that are in this biolab that can cause cancer, cause serious issues, can kill people. And they're putting it right in the middle, like it's no big deal in the
Well, they
community.
put it because they do a zoning. They make sure there's a certain zoning for this for warehousing and storaging, so
Yeah.
then they can get away with this. So they're able to do this. Kansas City has Plum Island, Plume or Plum.
Yeah.
And it's been for decades, it's been happening, and little by little, and now it's mRNA and DNA, and it's not good. The ingredients
Yeah.
aren't good, and we need to fix this and fix ourselves health wise and move forward. And thank you.
No, thank
Sorry.
you. Absolutely. Thank you. We'll make sure we get this out. So that's all I'm asking is everybody, please share this video with everybody that you know, have them watch it, because this affects you. It's going to affect you, or it's coming to a community near you, one day. So thanks so much. And we're so proud to have you a part of Luca in New Mexico. Thanks for all you do. Everybody follow her. Because there is there's so much a wealth of information coming from Jodilynn there in New Mexico. So God bless you, hun. Thanks. And we're going to bring you back on, because I know there's a lot of more information that you've got that we need to share. So
Yes,
God
I
bless you.
do.
Okay,
God
honey.
bless you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.